Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe my channel for coming updates. In this video, I am explaining the SQL command types. What is the SQL? SQL means structured query language. Generally, data will be generally we are storing the data in the database in the form of rows and fields, right? So we need to uh, we need we need to process the data and storing the data, or we need to update the data. So to access the database, we need the one language, right? By using the SQL language, we can communicate the database. We can communicate the databases, SQL server, and can store the data and manage the data and retrieve the data. These kind of the activities we can do by using the SQL language, like structured query language. Based on their functionalities, uh, and behaviors, they divide into different types, like DDL commands and DML commands and DQL commands and DCL and TCL. Apart from that, we are using some utility commands. I will explain these commands one by one later. First of all, DDL command. DDL means data definition language. DDL command is used for to define and manage and modify the structure of the database. Generally, DDL commands applies on the structure of the database objects. By using these DDL commands, we can define the structure of the database objects and manage the structure and modify the structure of the database object. Database object means we have the different kind of the database objects. Like table is one kind, one object, index, one object, and views. These are all coming as the database objects, right? By using the create command, we can create the data. Suppose we need the one table where in database where we store the data in the table, right? So to store the data, we need to create the one table. In the table itself, data will be stored into the rows and columns, right? So to create the table, we need create command. By using the create command, we can create the database object like table. Likewise, tables we can create the other database objects like index and views as well. Here is a sample syntax for creating the table. To create the table, generally using create table name, and here we will write the column names and data type. Data types, we have the different kind of database types like int, var, money, float, date time. These are all different kind of the data types. This is a sample syntax of the creating the table. After creating the table, suppose I want to change the table. I want to add some fields, or I want to modify some fields, or I want to delete some fields. How can I modify the existing table? By using the alter command, we can modify the structure of the database objects. Like here, sample alter command to modify the structure of the table. Here, this alter command is the syntax for adding the column, and and one more command is drop. Drop command. Suppose I have the table, but I am not using that table. And one more command is drop command. Drop command generally we are using, suppose we don't want the table, we want to delete the table or view or index. In this case, we are using the drop command to delete the database objects. Here is sample syntax to delete the table. Next is the truncate command. Truncate, suppose I have the table but I don't want the data. I want to remove all the records of the table. In this case, I will use the truncate command to delete the entire data from the table. This syntax for the to truncate the table. Next, we have the commands like DML commands. DML means data manipulation language. By using these commands to manipulate the data into the database, um, generally we have the commands like insert, update, and delete. Uh, insert command, by using the insert command, we can adding the rows into the table, right? So, I want to insert some data into the table. By using the insert command, we will insert the data into the table. So insert into table name values, value 1, value 1, 2, value 3. This syntax, example syntax for the insert command. Next, we want to update the existing data. By using the update command, we can update the existing data. Next, delete command. Delete, suppose I want to remove some specific rows from the table. Suppose I have the 10 branches data. I don't want only one branch data in the table. Then by using the delete command, I will delete only that specific branch data from the table. The condition I will mention into the where condition. Here most of the things interview questions like what is difference in drop, truncate, and delete. In the drop, suppose I don't want entire table, then I will use the drop command. Suppose I need the table, but I don't want the data. In this case, I will use the truncate. Suppose I want to remove some specific rows from the table, then I will use the delete command. This is the exact answer to the question. Next is the DQL command. DQL means data query language. Suppose I have the data in database, I want to retrieve. By using DQL command, DQL command is select command. By using the select command, we will retrieve the data from the database. Here it is the select sample syntax select command. Next is DCL. DCL commands means a data control language. Generally, these commands used by the DBA. Suppose any new member enter the organization to the team, database team, based on the grant command, he give the permissions, read, write, write permissions based on his role, giving to the that privileges, specific privileges to the respective user. Suppose he left the organization, so we want to remove the or we move to the other role. So we will want to remove some privileges from the user. Then by using the revoke command, we will remove the specific privileges from the user. Here it is the syntax for the revoke command. Next is try TCL command. TCL is the transaction control language to manage the transactions by using these commands we are using like commit, rollback, save point, set transaction. This command. Suppose we have the transactions. Suppose one transaction is running due to some connection issues, it was failed. So at that point, we don't know how many transactions are executed. So in this case, we are using the commit and rollback and set. Save point, these commands we are using. Suppose while running the transactions, if any transaction was failed, by we will roll back the initial point by using the rollback command. We can roll back to the initial point. So after running the transaction, suppose the transaction was run successfully, then by using the commit command, we will commit the transaction. This is the basic syntax for the transactions. Then apart from that, we have the some utility commands like use and describe. Use command use it for the to point out the specific database. We are using the use command, and describe command is for to describe the particular table, the structure of the to describe the structure of the table. In this case, we are using the describe table name. Then it will display the uh, related structure of the table. I hope you guys you are enjoy the lesson. Um, Please follow my Quora. Uh, Here I documented the things what I explained in this channel, and I will give the description Quora link in the description. So please follow my Quora link as well and subscribe my channel. Thank you.